All right, we are live. Hello, my beautiful Maree and Jazzy.
Yay.
Hello,
Hi, Lisa.
everybody on the chat. Um, Thank you for being here. My apologies for the topic. To be honest, I'm having a very hard time getting back into putting my attention to the 3D. I'm spending so much time trying to stay on the path of like spending my time and my attention on the things that I do want, not the things that I don't want. So I'm spending, when I go back to watching the news to try to come up with a story, what I'm seeing is the pattern of repetition and almost like a wheel that can't get traction, almost like I don't know, like just like it feels repetitive, and
A
when I go
loop.
back, it's like, oh my God, we're still talking about the same things, like, and I just couldn't. The energy, it was like a wall for me. It was like, and I was like, no, we're gonna figure out what to talk about, but we're not gonna talk about what's happening out there because it's just more of the same. It's just more of the
No,
same.
I agree. Yeah. And it's interesting, Elisa, because with the dream show, I mean, I have the heading up and that's it. Don't look at anything. It's whatever has been coming through naturally. And
Yeah.
what I've noticed is coming through, and I got another call from like Zandy today, and she said, I had a dream. And they're becoming a little bit similar in so much that we're seeing futuristic events like in another timeline and observing them. She was observing herself on a plane, spiritual dream, of course, and it was like she said it looked like a white book, and then it went up through this portal, and I went, this is coming through more and more from people. It's almost like we are really touching other timelines and other realities, and I feel we're affecting them, and then we're bringing back what we need to hear. So this is the theme that's been running, and I've really noticed it. So I don't know if you've been noticing anything like that or heard of people talking about anything like that.
Uh, Not necessarily. I haven't. My dreams are still not the dreams I prefer to have. I've been very frustrated about it, and I'm trying to let go of the 3D frustration that lowers my vibration, but I'm also honoring it. But today I woke up sad, and when I was looking through this other stuff, I did notice somebody posted about how they woke up sad too, crying. And I woke up also sad, and then I was crying too. So at first it was like waking up and just like wanting to cry, just frustrated because of the dream and what I saw in the dream. And just from that, I just was like wanted to cry, so I did, to release whatever. And then I felt sadness, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to honor this sadness, whatever this sadness is. um and then I was like, I'm not a sad person. Like, that's just not me at all. So I kind of
Mhm.
thought like either we're releasing
Yes.
with whatever's happening, or it's just stuff that needs to come out, that or it's the collective,
I was
one or
just
the
going to say to you, this happened to me yesterday. I woke up and I was okay. And then all of a sudden I went, oh, why am I feeling so sad? And I actually felt it a little bit on the weekend as well. And I went, I feel I'm tapping into the collective emotion. And of course, when we tap in, if there's something within us that needs releasing as well, then we release it. But yeah, it's interesting you say that because I actually had something similar happen. I went, this doesn't happen to me very often. And wow,
yeah,
just sat with it and just allowed it. I just went, oh, wow, this is really interesting. So
yeah,
I'm really glad you brought that up. And I'd love to
yeah,
know if anyone else has
yeah.
had
So
that happen.
Joyce was saying, like, she can't take the old genre of music. I find myself reaching for instrumentals. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much we're changing so quickly. Kathleen, I don't even read the headlines anymore. Also, I live with, oh boy, with liberal people, and they don't seem interested in much going on, which is quite shocking to me because they always talk about news.
Hmm.
So, yeah. And she also can't, uh, she's also like Joyce, where she can't find anything to listen to,
Yeah.
movies to watch, or things to read that looks interesting. I've been listening to classical a lot, though. Yeah, I've been reverting some days to classical music for
Yeah.
sure. Um, but so Marie, you were feeling also this a sadness energy as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I know there's a few things going on for friends, but I just felt it was bigger than that. But I will recommend something on Netflix, which and I just stumbled across it, and it's only an eight episode series called Ripple. I don't know if anyone's watched it, but it to me it was beautiful in some ways because it really showed the synchronicity of almost like sliding doors moments and how we meet people and how things happen. And of course they've got a little bit of the the left in there. They have to almost these days, but it wasn't fully in your face like some of them can be. But it was so there was so much wisdom in some of the conversations that they were having, and I thought, oh, this is a really actually beautiful series. So if anyone is looking for something different, and it triggered me, I cried, I laughed, I got mad. It was just so good. As well, in the fact that I went, oh, this is so good that there's these conversations are happening. So Ripple, if anyone wants to watch something that's a bit different. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, if
yeah,
you guys are also out there, let us know what you guys are watching, or if you're watching something that also you think that the rest of us would be interested in knowing as well. Um, yeah, that would be fantastic, you know.
yeah.
Um, I don't have
Oh,
Netflix, so I can't
oh,
watch it.
yeah, but that's all right. But it just I was surprised. I went, wow, this is yeah, this is for me. It felt like a good one, but but it's interesting because I did have a dream and I brought it up yesterday, which I don't often do on the show, but it was the night before the show, and it was a futuristic dream, and I feel it was also a little bit prophetic. So I was just mingling with people that um, they'd have a business idea and they'd go, right, I'm going to go off and set this up and buy this and that. I'm going, but how can you afford that? And they went, oh, I'm a multi-millionaire now. It's all good. So and they were normal, everyday people. And I went, well, this is interesting. Um, and I sort of thought, well, okay. Then I was in this huge apartment block, and I was watching this house that looked so different. It was beautiful black, like ebony graphite. It was a different material, and it kept morphing. And I was going, how can people live in a house that's tilted? Then all of a sudden it would morph into a whole nother shape, very futuristic, and oh, just beautiful. And I was mesmerized by it, just observing this technology almost. And I was going, okay, this is a really unusual dream. I remember thinking that in the dream and going, oh, I was intrigued. So I feel that that's like a little bit of another timeline, another reality that we're also bringing back into now. So I feel things are moving, and it's just a matter of when it taps in.
Well, I think it's a matter of us keeping our attention on it. Right?
Yeah.
It's us keeping our attention on that, on what we want to bring in instead of what's happening in front of us.
And look at the card that I just pulled again, because it's yeah, the Nine of Pentacles. Now this is very unique, very usually financial because it's Pentacles, but very unique. And I feel this is what is sort of in the ethers, so to speak.
Yes, and the more time we spend in that space, the more we bring it, the faster it comes. And so interesting that you're bringing the discussion to that, because this is what I wanted to talk about today. I am going to a Dr. Joe Dispenza um,
Mm.
retreat in January, and you have to do pre-work. And while I know most of the stuff that he's going to teach, I felt that it was important to start the year in that energy and
Love it.
that space of like-minded people in a super duper luxurious hotel and at the beach in Florida. It's a really nice beach where people with a lot of money, that's where they live. Um, and it's to call all that in because it's my time. It's my
Yep.
time to really just travel and just travel, like when you went to Turkey and you were treated like a queen.
Yep.
It like that, it was like I created that reality, of having a driver just for me and my friend Shanna. And it was like, this is how people, like rich people do it. And it's like, this is what I deserve. And this is what I'm going to bring in. And I already brought it in because look, I'm in Turkey and I'm being driven private, private tour. And so I'm like, I want more of that. I want more of traveling the world, but in a comfortable way where it's comfortable,
Yep.
And so overnight, is first class so I can sleep, so I can lay down the bed. It's not about being in first class. It's about laying down and going to sleep while I'm, traveling. Like being comfortable is what's important to me. So, just bringing that into me, into where I'm going. So in his last conversation, he was talking about, because what he does is the stuff that we know, he explains it, but scientifically, the brain and the neurons are firing and blah blah blah, more like scientific, more medical. And so again, the way he explains it is how when you're putting your attention into something, the brain, the neurons are firing at the same time, and then that's how that energy is created. So he starts explaining how, well, I started thinking about how I needed to reply to all these emails, and so he shows us in the middle, this is you, and then the thoughts start pushing you away from you, right, the now moment. So this is you in the now moment. And so he's like, oh, I gotta go do those emails, oh, I gotta take the garbage out, so all these things are pulling you from the now moment, all these thoughts, all these things. And then, he starts talking about how the emotion of he's not feeling good enough to do blah, blah, blah. So then that takes him away from the now moment and all these things. So he's like, so I stop that thought and I bring myself back to the now moment. And I stop this thought and I bring myself now to the now moment. And what he explains is that our fear of the unknown is what makes us it uncomfortable. And when you are uncomfortable, you go to the comfortable. Well, what's the comfortable? Oh, the emails. Oh, getting on the phone and looking to see what's going on. Right? So it's all like we are taking this, and our attention then is again scattered. It's not in the
Yep.
now moment. And so the way that he explains it, it's more like your mind kind of goes like, yep, yep, like it makes it more clear for people to understand it. So that's what I want to talk about is, where are you guys spending your time? Where are you spending your now moment? So Maree, how would you answer that? Are you doing good with that? Are you doing not so good? What would you
I think
say?
for me, I tend to listen to my intuition a lot. So, like, for example, because I've only been in here like 2.5 weeks or something, and I thought, oh, I'm not liking the look of I've got a beautiful sink basin in my bathroom. So straight away, I just grabbed some cleaning stuff after I'd had a shower and I just cleaned my basin, and it felt so easy because I was in that now moment to do that. Now, if I'd sat there and thought about it going, oh, I have to clean that basin, I have to clean that basin, it would have drained me. So I'm really starting, and we were talking about this yesterday too, I'm really starting to do things when I get the hit to do it there and then, because obviously there's an energy that's going with it that's making it easier to do it in the moment. I mean, I still procrastinate, don't worry. I'll still do things and I go, oh, yeah, whatever. But I am really making a conscious effort of doing things when I get the energy or get told, do it now, do it now. And I do. And then I can come back into that place of just being. But it's still being because I'm following that energy call. So that's what I've noticed. Like even with my unpacking, I got the hit, oh, do this now. And I had the energy for it. It didn't feel hard. So I don't know. That's where I'm really putting some focus at the moment, is what hit am I getting right now in the moment?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's a great way to bring it up, because I tend to just procrastinate. And then I notice that every time I go in my room, if I like my bed to be clear, right, of things. And so if I throw something on top of the bed to do later, then
Mhm.
every time I pass by my bed, I see that piece of thing. I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to do, right? And that like just scratches away into your vibration. It's like just one little, it drops your vibration, one little tick mark. So all these little things like cleaning the apartment or cleaning the floor, it's like a happy medium between like, okay, I don't have time to do it now, I'll have to do it later. And not procrastinating so much that it gets to the point where you're lowering your vibration a lot of tick marks, a lot of
Get it?
so
That's brilliant. Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
yes. Yeah. Let's see what a state of bliss was saying. I was told once by a very wise man, do the next right thing. I try to follow that. When I am happy about washing my dishes, that's when they get done, and I do it with joy instead of obligation. Absolutely. And
Spot on.
hence your name, right? A state of bliss, right? I love your
Yeah.
name. It's just so beautiful. We are so um just I don't know. It's just what do we want to create? Where is your energy going, right? So either it needs to be in the now moment or it needs to be in what you want to create as much
Yeah.
as possible. So he was saying that he spends 2 hours a day in the morning and that people were like, well, I can't get up that early. And he was like, then go to bed early. Like, how important is it to you to have a dream life? How important is it to you to have the life that you want? It's not worth going to bed 1 hour early.
That's
Like
right.
it's what is important to you and how much effort are you putting into it? Because to manifest the life you want, it takes some effort. It's not, it doesn't just appear. You do have to do the work of concentrating, putting your energy on what you want to see come to you, on what you want to see appear in your vibration. And not only that, like Bashar says, this isn't about creating and it coming to you. It's already in you. You're the creator of your reality. Therefore, it's already in you. So it's a matter of moving to the vibration where it already exists.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And it's so true. And it's almost like we have to and I think it was Joyce that said, instead of saying I've got to do that, I get to do that. And I love that because my vacuum cleaner was over at the other house when I was cleaning, and I really wanted to vacuum here. And I was like, I can't do it because I don't have my vacuum cleaner. So as soon as my vacuum cleaner came over, I was so excited because I actually got to do something that I wanted to do. So so I love that, Joyce. And I still have that feeling. I go, oh, if I need to, I can vacuum because I've got it now. So it's that appreciation, I think, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
some people don't have a vacuum cleaner. I didn't have a vacuum cleaner for like a week and a half. And I was going, oh wow, this feels really weird. So, even though sometimes it would sit there for ages and I wouldn't vacuum, whereas now I'm like, I appreciate my vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's interesting how it puts it into perspective, right?
Yep, totally. So, and
Yeah.
even my big broom was over at the other place. And so I was doing things with a little brush and shovel here, and I was going, and so I had so much joy when my broom first came over and I was sweeping. I was going, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Oh, this is fun. So just the difference in not having something for a short time and then appreciating it so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's huge.
Mm,
So
mm,
I just want to really make a point of like I've let go of the phone a lot now that I spend a lot of my time either trying to meditate, being in the now moment,
mhm.
or creating. Like I'll close my eyes and I'd be like, oh, it's time to play. And so now I close my eyes and I just imagine myself going into the first class lounge and walking. I've been watching videos on YouTube on all these different first classes where they make your bed and all this stuff. And so now it's me walking those halls, into the going up the stairs into the airplane, and going into my suite and taking a shower in the airplane, in the cabin, putting my pajamas on, laying in the bed. So that's what I do now. I just spend time like having so much fun creating these realities that I know exist, and I know that all I have to do is put myself there. So it's quite a lot of fun once you start doing that. So letting go of the fear of the unknown and really creating something magical, really. It's really what this is about.
Yeah. And change can feel really, like you said, uncomfortable. So it's a matter of going, oh, yeah, but the pleasure from doing something that I've been putting off doing, even though I want to do it, I get to, I get to do it. So for me, it's a matter of like making sure everything's organized like before I go to bed. So when I get up in the morning, I just get dressed and go and do something. And it took me a while to get to that point. I was just going, it just wasn't happening. So I knew what I needed. And now I'm doing that, it's like, oh, I love doing this. I love this walking out there. I love it. And it was so hard to get that first kickstart change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Sometimes it's hard to do, but um it's we gotta so something also that I heard is, and that I know I've heard Joe Dispenza say, is you cannot become someone else, have a different life if you don't become that person. You got to become the person has that type of life, right?
yep,
So I can't have the life of somebody who has unlimited amounts of money if I go to the store and I look at the prices, if I say something's expensive, if I hold on to money, if I, if all these things, like you have to become that person
yep,
that lives in that reality that you want to be a part of. And so
yep,
it does mean that you have to change what you do and how you do it and your belief
absolutely.
systems around that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because years ago I read someone was saying, like, if you physically don't have that money right now, write out yourself a check for like $1,000, and then go and spend that $1,000 every day, however you want to. You just go, oh yeah, that's what I'm having today. You don't actually buy it like in reality, but you actually say, this is what I'd have with my $1,000, and that $1,000 gets replaced every day. And that way, even in the etheric, we're doing that. We're actually saying, oh, I deserve this. Oh, it doesn't matter how much that costs. You know, and yeah, so you can put in as much as you want in your pocket. You probably won't be able to spend it all. So
Yeah, and
just
that's the
waiting.
thing. That's what I'm saying is, like, spend, like Joe Dispenza said, he spends 2 hours. I spend 1 hour of those 2 hours in that reality, the
Yeah,
reality where I am spending gobs of money every day. And it raises your vibration immensely, immensely. So
because there's
it's
joy
it's like
in that. You're already experiencing it. That's how we manifest. I
yeah,
started doing this when I was a child, and I didn't really understand what I was doing. But I remember I went to this birthday party. I was only probably about 7 or so, and they played this amazing game called Lolly on the Lady. It's a little bit like your jacks, you have your jacks and spades and things. And I remember going, oh, I've been really good today. I know I am going to win Lolly on the Lady. And I was picturing myself getting all the lollies, winning all the hands. And I did. And I went, oh, this is great fun. So then I just started imagining and visualizing and feeling anything I wanted to experience. And it would happen. Sometimes it took 20 years for it to come to fruition, but I would remember, I'd go, oh, this is what I used to dream about as a kid. So, and people are going, how do you manifest all this stuff? So, sometimes it wasn't the right timing. I had to be in It had to be from me in a right time for me to experience it. And I was going, oh my gosh, I used to just dream of all this stuff. So it does work.
It does work. It does work. And that's how I've gotten here, right? I mean, I am very close to that life. And when you really sit in it, it's quite fun and magical. So Jimmy was saying a friend of mine from Jamaica would tell me regarding a problem or issue, let it stay there. In other words, don't let it affect you. Come back to it when it suits you. It will still be there.
That's a great way to do it as well. So
Yeah.
I guess, Lisa, for you seeing something on your bed, um, is there a way that you could just go, oh, thank you, or bless it, or appreciate it, rather than feeling you have to get it off the bed? So I guess that's, I don't know, is that a different way of being able to look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then a state of bliss, this fake it till you make it. So let's talk about that one because that's big. And that's what I used to tell people, just fake it till you make it. But I read a book by Maureen St. Germain called Living in 5D or Waking Up to 5D. And in it, she explains that, or was that there or was it somewhere else? Anyway, it came to say that we we should not it's not about trusting, it's about knowing. So you don't trust that your name is Maree, you know your name is Maree. So it's about knowing that the universe is going to take care of you and really believing it. And it's not this trusting that I always talk about. It's really more about a knowing. When you know, it's done.
Yep.
There is
Yep.
no possibility of maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. No, there is no such thing. It's a knowing.
Yep.
So the idea of fake it till you make it is not knowing. There's still a
Yep.
trust factor there. And
Yep.
it's really about moving from from the trusting and surrendering to the knowing that
Yep.
it is so.
Yeah, and I feel sometimes there is a step in between, like, when we're not fully in that 5D all the time or whatever. Because I remember when I'd started this job and I went, oh my God, I can't believe I've even got this role. It was setting up this whole huge thing within a hospital. And I just went, I'm just going to take one day at a time. And then someone would turn up with all these clinical papers I needed. They went, oh, I've studied all this. Here you go. And then someone else would go, oh, we've just started this at another hospital, but we'd love your input. And they had everything I needed. And it just came to me. And at first I was like, I'm just going to have to fake this. But then all of a sudden, because I was meant to be there, everything just came to me. And then I had all the knowledge because I was a midwife as well as a registered nurse. I could bring in I was licensed to bring in different aspects that they hadn't had in a general hospital before. And it was like, I just got looked after. And I just started to know, okay, all right, this is how it works. But I was just stumbling at first. And then bang,
Yeah.
it's like the universe came in, everything just fell into place for me. It was amazing. And that's when I first got into things like Reiki, and because it was alternative pain relief. And I just said, well, this is intriguing me. So that was it. I was off on that journey as well on the side.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
it was, it
Beautiful.
was,
But
it,
yes, it's about knowing that you're going to be directed along the way, that you're going to be,
mhm.
guided along the way.
But the gift for me was I'd shut down my emotions for so long, um, and I was probably about 25 or 6 or something like that when I got this role. And I remember for about 6 weeks, I'd go, what is this feeling in my stomach? When every day I'd go to work and I'd go, what is this feeling in my stomach? And so I was reading and trying to find some information, and I realized I was actually scared. This was a really big deal, and I was scared, and I didn't even know what that emotion was. So I was starting from scratch. So it was incredible. That was my greatest gift, was learning about my own emotions. and understanding. And as soon as I knew what it was, it went. It was incredible. So we're put in situations sometimes so that we can actually start getting in tune with ourselves.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Tower moment,
Big
situations,
power
which are
moment.
fun.
Yeah.
But the more tower situation moments you go through, the easier it gets. The more I pivot, it's the art of the pivot where, it's like, oh, that's what it is, pivot, moving on. Like it is what it is. And again, it's the I was going to say entrusting, but no, and knowing and
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
that it's going to be
Absolutely.
okay. Yeah.
But now too, I also feel that because we are running with a more expanded vibration frequency or whatever, the tower moments are quicker. It's like we get the aha moment quicker. I own it quicker, and therefore I can pivot quicker. So
Uh-huh.
they used to go on for months. I used to find myself going through initiations, and it just felt like it took months and months. Whereas now it can be like that.
Yeah.
Really different scenario that we're living in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just incredible. I also feel that again, I'm not really sure where this channel will go, but I just have to stay with what feels right for me, which is not paying attention to the 3D anymore. And how
Yeah,
can I try to teach you guys to move your attention away from the 3D if I'm not doing it myself? And so, I have to walk the talk. And walking the talk is really just having conversations like these instead of what's Trump doing? What like oh, they got vaccine injured. Oh, they blah.
yeah.
No, I don't care. I
I
care
agree
about
with you. I
the
agree
world
with
that's
you.
coming.
Yeah, and I think too when there was a lot of people were wanting to connect and talk about things that weren't allowed to be spoken about during that very intense time, then it was very relevant. And I feel now that's just dissipated because we have moved into a whole new space, and people want to talk more about, wow, look at what's changing, look at what we're experiencing. And I feel that, so you're spot on. I really feel that it's great just to have a forum for people to come to and say, this is what is happening for me. Is anyone else experiencing this?
Yeah, absolutely. More of that. More of the let's talk as a community
Yeah,
than, is this true? Is this not true? Like, I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is that we help each other as humans, that we are kind to each other, um, that we are telling others again, like you say, oh, I'm going through this. Oh, I'm feeling sad. Oh, I woke up sad. Or
yeah,
did you wake up sad? Are we all going through these same
yeah,
feelings and emotions? Because when we know that's what it is, then we are going to thrive. Why? Because we're sticking together. We understand that it's not just us, or that it's, like, oh, more sadness coming through. No, it's not me, like everybody else I can see is feeling it.
yeah,
So
totally.
it's a matter of really just bringing in the community together and really starting to talk about the things that we want to talk about that are affecting us every day, you
And,
know?
and it's so funny because I pulled a card then as you were talking, and it's come up
Oh my
again.
God, are you kidding?
This is the third time actually, because I did one for Elisa beforehand. So this is, to me, just keeps reminding us all of our beautiful talents and gifts and our uniqueness and what we bring in reality into this plane, into this place. And really honoring ourselves for our individual who we are. To me, it's so important. And we're constantly, then the Eight of Pentacles, which is one less, came up. We're constantly working on it. We're not finished. And that's part of it all.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
because we're all on a similar sort of wavelength, we're going to probably feel things emotionally, we're going to think things mentally the same to an extent. So it's we're all connected.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and I'm not sure, I mean, how do you feel about me sharing what we talked about um, before we started about my tower moment?
I think it'd be perfect because um, because it might have it has, I feel it is what affected you physically. I feel being really open and honest is going to help other people, because that's the reality of living in this world. We've chosen to be here for a reason, and it's for experiences and
Yeah.
aha moment. And I remember this now. If you,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah. So it's kind of a long story, so I won't make the whole long story. But back in the day when I decided to leave the slavery, corporate slavery, I kind of made a decision to do a couple of things, and one of them was to invest some money on XRP and crypto, but mostly XRP, because there was something that came to me that I saw that I was like, oh, it's going to be XRP. So I just decided to put it all in there. But then other things, other synchronicities were telling me that it was the right decision, especially when Maree said, well, I had a dream about XRP. I had no idea what it was. I was told to go buy it. I didn't even know what crypto was, right? And I'm like, okay, good. Confirmation that that was the thing to do. And so more and more things started appearing about XRP being the right thing, blah, blah, blah. So, here I am thinking XRP is going to take me to the next level of, I kept asking for unlimited financial abundance, unlimited financial abundance, unlimited financial abundance. So I can not only help myself, but help others. And so all along, I am using this other money that I had from the sale of my home. And so I was living, I'm traveling the world, and I knew, I'm again trusting that that XRP is going to be it, blah blah blah. So I never imagined that I would have to sell some of it to continue living my life. And so it got to the point where I did had to make a decision. And I know I'm definitely not supposed to go back to work. And here's the XRP. And I had to sell some of it so that I can continue the life that I have of the traveling the world, and activating and removing energies and creating grids and blessing the waters and wherever else they send me. And I also share a lot of the money that every month I'm supporting my dad's widow. I'm supporting her. I'm supporting, my mentor. I'm supporting the many other channelers. I'm, just supporting whatever needs to be supported. A lot of people depend on me. So I finally decided to sell some of it, and it started affecting my health. And my hair started falling off, and it breaking off and all this. And so the message I received was that I was holding on to, when you hold on to something, you're holding it, like you're holding it so it can't move. It can't. So I was holding on to this, like, for dear life, to this XRP, right? I can't sell my XRP. Oh my God. Right? Well, am I trusting that the universe is going to take care of me if I'm holding on to something? What is this attachment? And so looking into it, I realized, oh my God, I'm holding on to this thing. Like, I'm not supposed to. I'm not supposed to hold on to anything, no attachments. And so I finally, sold it. But it was heartbreaking because I had put all my hopes on this, right? And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, like, and it was like this surrender of, like, it's gonna be everything. I know deep in my heart that everything's gonna be okay. And so, what is this attachment, especially? And I've told this to myself before, and it's been a channeled message: the future doesn't exist.
Mm.
Stop holding onto things for the future. It doesn't exist. If you live every now moment as if I have a shit ton of money in the bank, every now moment, okay? And you continue every now moment to say, I have a shit ton of money in the bank, doesn't that mean that every now moment continuing will have a shit ton of money in the bank? Absolutely. Because I'm not thinking of the future. I'm thinking of the now, and the now is now. And so in this now moment, there's a ton of money in the bank. So if I continue with that thought, then guess what? The universe has no choice but to give me that. But instead, I was concentrating on the future. So once I let go, I understood the lesson, and I released it and let go. And with loving kindness, I said, thank you, XRP, for giving me the ability to go to this retreat, for the ability to blah, 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 to pay my bills. And now I'm releasing it with much love. And that's it. I've let go, but it was a tower moment. Maree pulled the cards, and it was a tower moment for me because I had put all my hopes on this. And so now it feels kind of freeing, to be honest. Now I'm like giving money away to people that I don't even know. And it's like, oh, you need money here. You did like I really, really let go of the attachment, because I know that whatever I'm attaching to and holding on to, I'm stopping. I'm stopping the flow. I can't do that. I gotta let it go.
Yeah.
So it was painful. It was
It's huge. And
painful.
it was a belief system as well. And when we have belief systems, they've got to go. It's like, it really has to go. So
Yes.
that's huge. So well done. That's massive.
Yeah. And that's why I spend a lot of my time, my free time, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. What is the work? It's sitting my ass down and dreaming. and like freaking flying high in all these ideas like that I want to do, that that do cost a lot of money. And so it's like, well, screw it. If I have the time now and I have the freedom to do it, I'm gonna go do that. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm spending my time meditating in the now moment, spending my time daydreaming, having fun in what I'm creating, and just being a creator, which is the reason why I'm here. And so,
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's really important, Elisa. And what I find, to add on to that, is when I get a hit to take some action with something, we've been talking about this as well, is do it then and there. That's it. Taking action in that moment, because that might be the pivotal point, when something then can come through, because we have to still take action,
exactly.
yeah, we have to take action.
Yeah, absolutely. And a state of bliss was saying, I'm in a similar position having to sell. It felt like for once I was going to come out on top. And when I have to sell unit, it chips away at that thought. Rent has to be paid though. Right. Exactly. And so, it's also letting go of that, and then also still believing in my mission of having to travel the world and doing the missions that I'm being sent in. And it's interesting. The thought that came to me one time was that, so if you have unlimited amounts of money, do you allow the universe to provide you with magic?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So where is the magic when you have so much money that you just go and do what you want to do? And where's the magic? Like, where does it come? You didn't have to manifest so and so coming into your life, or you didn't have to manifest this or that, nothing, because you have it. It's there. Like, what fun is that?
Yeah.
you know? So that was also something that jumped into my mind. I don't know if that's part of it or not. Um, that doesn't feel comfortable, I'll be honest, to live in a state
No.
of constant
Mm.
manifestation, waiting for that manifestation to appear, even though I know it's coming. Um, so I don't know. I mean, at this moment, that's not something that I can live with
Mm.
comfortably. Maybe in the future, as more things appear and get manifested, maybe. But, that is a thought that came to me. It was like, well, what's the
Hmm.
fun of that when you have it all?
Yeah. But I guess then what happens is because we've shifted and let go of belief systems and shifted, then when they're like the abundance is just there and we can just like, yep, 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 then people come into our lives anyway, in a different way. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And my favorite saying, especially when I'm traveling, is I don't ever book anything right up to the hilt. I always go, let's leave room for miracles, because this is when the magic happens. So it doesn't matter whether you have the finances or no finances. To me, my attitude is I'm leaving room for miracles because that's where my magic happens.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just a lesson in attachments and what are you holding on to that is holding back what you want to create, what you want to see, um, and really understanding your belief systems and knowing, yeah, and knowing that it's there and it's going to be there and it's always going to be there.
Yep. Totally. It is knowing that. And I've had God say to me, I've got your back, I've got your side, I've got your front, I've got every part of you. It's like, oh, like that was an aha moment for me. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, and
Yeah.
it might not always come
Absolutely.
how we expect it to come because of our belief systems, but then how it happens, it's like, wow, that's so cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I had for today. It was just
But
to talk about where we spend our time. What are you giving your attention to? What are you holding on to? Um, hopefully my tower moment can help you. And again, just letting go of all those things.
and I
Yeah.
think, Elisa, it takes a lot of courage to talk about those vulnerable moments that we have. Like we're human, and this is what we're here for, is to have some experiences that we just didn't expect was even hidden somewhere within us. So thank you for sharing. I think it's really, really beautiful that you've done that, because we've all had them. We've all had them, just in different ways. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
So, and do you
wow.
think, what about Jazzy? Does he have any advice for us or anything to add to the conversation today?
Sure. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe it, because I got the hit to pull an animal magic card. Phoenix came up. Now, Phoenix doesn't come up that often, and when it does, I don't know. You probably all know the story about the Phoenix bird. There's only ever one in the etheric on the Earth plane, and it sort of burns and everything, and there's an egg left, but everything gets completely dissolved, literally. So to me, when the Phoenix has come up, it means that if we have the intention of, right, like you've been saying, release that, let that go, detach, it happens. Phoenix energy will help it happen. So whoever has stuff that's going on at the moment, um, just bring through Phoenix energy and have an intention of, that's going to be sorted now, done, and it will. So I really think that's absolutely perfect for what we've been all discussing. So yeah, so Phoenix energy is absolutely powerful.
Yeah,
So
I feel like I have been the Phoenix rising ever since I was betrayed by someone I considered a sister. And that was the message when all that happened was you're going to be the Phoenix rising.
yeah,
And And I feel that very
Yes.
strongly.
The greatest pain is often our greatest gift.
Yes.
So, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Jazzy wants to say something, obviously. Okay, come on, Jasper. Let's just tune in and see what's going on. Now, remember, guys, you can tune in with Jasper as well, and he can help to expand your connection, through the intersource, whatever it is you call it. So he loves that. So I'm just going to tune in through now and just see what Jasper has to show, help me to see clearer. Okay, he can be very, very funny sometimes, but he said, no, this is serious. So what he did was he laid himself down like in a beautiful field that had flowers and buzzing bees. And he said, when was the last time we stopped and smelt the flowers and just were us, just contemplated and just lay there and watched clouds? And when was the last time we did that? It's a really good question, isn't it? So, because there's been so much happening on a frequency level, energetic level, oh, just being, not having to justify our existence, not anything. So that's what he was showing. So maybe
Well,
that's we can all
yeah,
do.
that's for everybody who's watching. I luckily I do get to do that every day. Every morning I get to do that. Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
blessed. Very
Yeah.
blessed.
And what
Yeah.
he's showing you with that as well is that then the frequency then can just start to really shift within us when we just completely surrender and let go and be in that state of peace, and letting go of all the what we need to do, meant to do. Just so that's Jasper's little word of encouragement for everybody. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's
thank
what
you,
came.
Jasper. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big
So
deal to do that, guys. A very,
it is.
very big deal. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and A State of Bliss was saying that she kind of did that today. Started at the lake today, and there wasn't a soul around. I felt so rich.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. What I've noticed too is when there's nobody around, when you're doing something and there's nobody around, it's like you've raised your vibration. It's almost like there's less people there. There's less people there. That's when I know the magic is there, because I start noticing like it's just me, or it's just me and another person, or it's just very, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's interesting because it's obviously Christmas shopping time and everything. And the other day, my client wanted to go somewhere, and I was going, okay, this could be really hectic. So I was just like, because it can be so busy at this particular place. We got there, and it's like there was hardly anyone there. And I was going, oh, this is actually really lovely. So, we just don't know, do we, when we're in that space and that frequency, that it can be just all the NPCs or whatever just aren't there. And it was so quiet. It was beautiful. I actually really enjoyed it with him. So it was great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, you guys, next Monday, we're going to have Tyler on for the third episode of his book, and one that I was dying to talk about. So, the one with the spider, magnetic spider, we talked about last time. If you missed it, it was amazing. And the next one is going to be just as amazing as well. So, I would not miss it. That's next Monday. And then after that, Maree is going away, so she's going to be gone for 2 weeks, and then I'm gone to the Joe Dispenza retreat in January. So then we're back on, oh, I forgot the date now.
I think he
We're
said the
back
12th.
January 12th. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're back January 12th. Okay.
I can't wait to hear about the Joe Dispenza time that you have there and what you get from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thanks everybody for being here. Thank you for your comments. And please, if you can like the video, share the video, and just be happy, be high
Yeah.
vibing, and let go of attachments, and spend your time wisely. Spend your time on what you want to see, not what's in the news or your phone, because there's a reason why this thing has a, oh, you can't see it, I covered it, the apple, right?
Yep.
The forbidden apple, right? It's the forbidden fruit, and there's the reason why that's the logo of the apple.
Yeah, I've covered mine too, which is interesting.
It's the forbidden fruit that you eat every day. So yeah, spend your time on your dreams, guys. All right. You are so loved. And I'm hoping to see you guys next Monday. Take care, everybody.